Hey, what's up guys, and welcome back to Anime King 2, and today I'm going to be giving you part 38 of What If Izuna Uchiha was Naruto Ancestor. Remember to get this one to 100 likes as usual, share this to all of your friends on your social media platform. And also go ahead and check out the final episode of Season 1 for What If Naruto returned different after his training trip. I'm going to be posting Season 2 but I don't know when yet guys, so yeah, just stay in tune. But I do hope you enjoy all of them, and yeah, go ahead and check it out and enjoy. And remember, if you're new and this is the first time you're hearing my voice, and you enjoy the videos on both Anime King and Anime King 2, go ahead and click that red subscribe button and become a part of the Anime King family. And thank you for all of your help and your support guys, and remember to comment down below and tell me if you're new. So yeah, without further ado, let's begin this new episode. Start the intro.
I think the girls with their nails done now. Girls with their nails done. I think the girls with their
So, the last time we left off, 3 long years passed as the world was threatened by the right, Naruto's empire. We started out with Naruto compelling hundreds of the royal families to kill themselves on a rampage as he uses Mangito Sharingan as all of them draw their weapons and slaughter each other. Technology has moved forward in the world, so the whole world saw the event. As Kurenai, Neiterumi, and Temari, they were all there, as they were a part of the resistance with Jiraiya and some other shinobis. As the world has gone to hell in this past 3 years, Naruto's empire was the largest, as most members had switched over to him. Even Kakashi had switched over to him. As Kurenai and Anko were surprised when they heard the news that Naruto and Kakashi got married. As Anko couldn't believe it, as she was heartbroken. She didn't understand what the hell. As we went into a flashback, it was 2 years ago, as Kurenai started to regain all of her memories. She started to remember everything, as now she felt the love for Naruto, but he was already with Haku. She met him 2 years ago as Anko talked to Kakashi. They came on neutral grounds, not doing anything. As she hugged him, all of those old feelings rushing back to the surface. She tried to kiss him but he turned his cheek and told her that he's with someone else, as she understood. We then skip back to the present time, as she told Jiraiya to prepare the plan, as they have a plan, but it's quite dangerous, as she shed a few tears, saying sorry to Naruto. We then skip to Naruto as he went back to his empire as Haku was sleeping in bed, as he crawled in with her. As the both of them talk, even though the years has passed, he has never talked about his daughter Ren. That was a sore subject, and he started to talk about her tonight, as Haku held her stomach, as Naruto asked her if something was wrong, and she said no. The next day Haku went to Tsunade, as Haku was pregnant. She was having a boy, as she hasn't told Naruto yet, as Tsunade told her that Naruto will be happy. She should tell him he will love this baby boy with all of his might, as Haku nodded in a response. So yeah guys, that was basically the last part we left off. You guys can switch across place and check it out for yourself, so let's start this new episode. We begin this episode with Naruto as he calmly sits down on the soft grass, as his eyes glance over the lake, as he was currently inside the palace. It was one of the most beautiful creations he has ever seen. Being near water always relaxes him. Looking at it just makes him forget all of his troubles and be at peace. Someone then appeared. Within 3 years of Emperor Naruto ascending to the throne, he has destroyed the violent shinobi system. He has changed his world completely, Sasuke said, as he read the headline of a newspaper. Naruto glanced towards Sasuke. Years has been good on his best friend, and nowadays he looked more and more like a younger version of his father. Sasuke was more muscular than him, and he had a gaze that would scare off the mightiest fighters. The perfect trait for the commander of the right army. This is just the beginning still. I will create more rivers of blood. To even upstage the name of Itachi Uchiha and the tragedy of the Uchiha clan from the people's memories, Naruto said. Naruto, it's not just me who lost family, but you too. All of us has lost far too many things, but even so we have to brace for tomorrow. But we need to conquer the world first, Naruto said seriously, as he got to his feet, as he had an amused smile on his face. It is funny to actually say it, he said. Sasuke smiled upon hearing Naruto joke, as he remembered how pissed Naruto was at him when he found out what he did to Kurenai, removing the seal from her mind, making her remember little and little. Naruto had punished him by sending him away to capture Water Country. It was a year before Sasuke came back victorious. By that time, Naruto was married and all of his anger had vanished. He still owed Aku for that. But the world will change, and the both of you will do it, said a voice. As Naruto turned to see Kakashi, and what Kakashi had in his arm made Naruto smile even more. For the sake of Valkyrie, Naruto said. Naruto kneeled down, as Kakashi put down the small child, who quickly made his way over to Naruto, as he was barely forming words. Good to see you too, buddy, Naruto said. As Naruto looked at little Obito, he was an exact clone of his father, 16 months old, starting from his chubby face mask, with his unruly white hair, with a bit of ginger in it which he inherited from his mother. He had his mother's eyes, but in every other way, he was Kakashi reincarnated. As Naruto still couldn't believe that Kakashi had named him his child godfather, but he appreciated it nonetheless. As Naruto went through his pocket as he pulled out a paper plane, as he handed it to the child, as the smile on the child's face grew wider. With speed surprising for a kid, Obito snatched the plane away, which made Naruto laugh. As Naruto watched the child play with the little plane. As Naruto was happy for this child, he will grow up and know the world as a different place. He won't see the war, he won't grow up having to kill people. He will not live in this world. This is what all of them are striving for a better future, a better tomorrow. Up, the baby said, as Kakashi chuckled, as Obito raised his hand for Naruto to lift him up again, as the boy was one of the few people who could command Naruto that easily. He learned that word really quickly, said Kakashi. He's a smart boy, aren't you, Obito? Yes, Naruto, the baby said. It's Naruto, Obito, said Naruto. Naruto? Naruto, he said Naruto. Naruto? As the baby kept on mumbling Naruto's name, as Obito saw a butterfly fly into the garden, as he forgot about Naruto and went off with his plane, following the butterfly. He's alive, the one, said Naruto. That he is, said Kakashi. I'm happy to report that things are peaceful in Water Country. It seems like the resistance had fallen back and shifted their base from the headquarters from Kiri to somewhere else, said Kakashi, as he was currently in charge of the affairs of Kiri. Where, Naruto asked. The Fire Nation, Kakashi said. I want to suppress all resistance before we move to Kumo. There are pests we need to eliminate as soon as possible, Naruto said. Agreed, Sasuke said, but so is the case with the Akatsuki. It's still a mistake to let all of the captured Beiju to be stored in that statue. We need that monster on our side. You cannot let Tobi possess it, Sasuke said. Until I destroy all of the ninja villages, I cannot open another war front with the Akatsuki. We have to be patient, Naruto said. They were interrupted when Guren rushed towards them as she had a look in her eyes. That made Naruto worry. After getting a salute from her, he ordered her to take a deep breath, which she did. Your Highness, the Tsuchikage is moving towards Tokyo with his remaining fighters. We tried to stop him, but he's too powerful, said Guren worriedly. Tokyo was the capital of the empire, the place where all of them currently were. If any harm was to come to this place, then it would be bad. And that would bolster the resistance to fight, and the rebellions would push forward towards them. Guren, contact the press. Tell them I have breaking footage for them, said Naruto. Yes sir, Guren said. As soon as Guren went away, Naruto turned, as his glare made Sasuke look away. The Uchiha was the current governor of Earth Country. Kakashi was the governor of Water Country. Tsunade was the governor of Fire Country. And Gaara of Wind Country. By tonight, I want Oniki's head at my feet, or your body on the battlefield. Am I clear, Naruto said. What about his soldiers? You know I don't take prisoners, Sasuke said. As Sasuke didn't even care about the fact that Naruto just threatened him to commit suicide if he lost. Have it your way, kill them, but don't torture anyone. Take a company of right soldiers with you. I'll handle this on my own, Sasuke said. Naruto wanted to say more, but he just gave a nod instead. There was times when a heartless soldier like Sasuke was needed to finish a war, and if there was any time now, they needed Uchiha Sasuke. Kakashi, let's go. We have some live footage to watch, said Naruto. Meanwhile, Onki had an excited look on his face, as the smirk was full of joy as he watched his soldiers destroy the first wave of right soldiers, as he was also in the sky destroying the enemy forces. The flying shinobi, he had always prided himself to be the only shinobi that can fly, and now this power will help him get rid of the evil emperor. Once Naruto was finished, he could restore the nation and gain control over the empire. Tsuchikage-sama, I sense one enemy fighter approaching, his sensor said. Just one? Find out who it is, he said. A team of sensor ninjas move ahead of their force, searching for the target, find out who exactly it is. Looking towards the eastern side, they saw a person as he was standing on top of a hawk. And suddenly, the ninja vanished in a black flash. And then, boom! Oniki, who was previously smiling, was now in shock as his entire forces were blown to oblivion. All he could see was black flashes across the battlefield and hear the cries of his dying man. He moved in to save them, but before he could do anything, the battle was already over and only dead bodies of his soldiers lie there. A chill went down his spine as it made him remember the massacre that the 4th Hokage had committed, the Yellow Flash, in the 3rd Great Shinobi War. The event in front of him could be considered history, repeating itself. You pest! He quickly spun around to come face to face with Sasuke Uchiha, the Emperor's most powerful ally. A butcher who had murdered more ninjas than Naruto himself, and this man never took prisoners. The proof of this was all of the stone shinobis lying dead on the battlefield. Uchiha Sasuke, you will pay for your sins, Oniki said, making Sasuke smile cruelly. Oh, I will? But before I do that, I will send your ass to the underworld. By the time I'm done with you, the entire world will remember you as a fool who tried to defeat the Emperor. Well, thought that he could. Onki opened his mouth to say something, but he instead cried out in pain as both of his arms became enveloped by black flames. As the heat was beyond intense, within seconds the black flames spread across his body, but he crumbled into dust. You talk too much, Sasuke said. You lack manners, boy. The real Oniki said as he emerged. It's a shame. An insult really, that someone like you is ruling my nation, Oniki said. Does it look like I care? The strong survive, the weak die. That is the rule of this world. The fact that you couldn't even protect your people just make you more pathetic to me. A stubborn old man, with one foot in the grave, the world will be better off without you. The title of the Tsuchikage shall rest with me, Oniki said. As Sasuke laughed, I have ascended beyond the stupid positions of Hokage. I am the Knight of the Emperor. I am the sword of the most powerful man in the world. Compared to that title, Kage, Tsuchikage, that is nothing. As Sasuke Hawk then moved off after Sasuke's command, as a bird moved with super speed towards Oniki. At first, Oniki was surprised with his speed, but he quickly flew high in the air, missing Sasuke's sword swipe that nearly took off his head. It was Sasuke's turn to be shocked when his hawk started to cry out in pain, as it suddenly started to crash to the ground with great speed. It was as if the bird was carrying an entire mountain on his wings and could not take it anymore. Earth release added weight rock technique. As Sasuke cursed, just as Oniki had removed his hand as he touched the bird, that is when he crashed down into the ground, as it poofed away. With his ear support gone, Sasuke stood on the tallest tree, as Oniki hovered above him, with a smug look on his face. As Sasuke focused his Mangekyo Sharingan, Amaterasu, Oniki gritted his teeth as he started to fly away, as a wall of black flames started to follow him. From his experience from the clone, he was well aware what this could do. As he kept on flying, he then turned, Sasuke was gone. His eyes then went wide as a devastating kick connected with his back, as he heard the sick crunch of his bones as Sasuke sent him flying downwards. How the hell did he manage to get up here? Only when he looked closer, he realized those black flames was pushing him down towards the ground, as it was a trick for him to get closer for him to make his move. But still he couldn't explain how quickly Sasuke got behind him and how did he make his move. He couldn't even feel the boy. Oniki crashed in the ground with so much force as Sasuke landed behind him, the expression on his face showing that he wasn't pleased with this battle. If you are this weak, then what kind of illusion make you believe that you can take on Naruto? The Emperor is more powerful than me, Sasuke said flatly, as he disliked revealing any kind of information to the enemy. But orders were orders, and you will follow Naruto command to the end, as the entire world should believe it now. If Sasuke was kicking Oniki's ass like this, and Naruto was far powerful than Sasuke, what does that mean for the world? You try to tear me apart, so with good manners if I return the favor, Sasuke said, as Oniki took a step back, as he was now aware of the danger the Uchiha posed to his life. What are you, Oniki said. The act of stealing from others is a sin, Sasuke said, as he looked up into the sky. We take something from others the day we were born, he said in a dark tone. Oniki remained silent as he just kept a close eye on Sasuke. Life is an unending cycle of committed sin. Life is evil itself, Sasuke said. Does that justify everything you've done, Uchiha? Oniki said. No, I am aware, and I have accepted the fact that I'm evil. And so are you. As Oniki tensed when Sasuke gave him a smile that sent shivers down his spine. This boy was truly mad. Now come. Come and kill me, Sasuke said. As Sasuke drew his sword at Oniki, speed through hand sign as fast as he could. A determined expression came on his face. Die, Uchiha! Dust release, detachment of the primitive world technique. As Sasuke was trapped in a large square with a cylinder shape in the center, as a cruel smile came on Oniki's face. And boom! The spear exploded violently, as Oniki watched a satisfied look on his face, as he started to relax. But he then looked up as his eyes went wide. How could this be? Impossible! As Sasuke was rushing from the smoke, with a predator look in his eyes, as he quickly went through another set of hand signs, as he could not let this boy get near to him. Dust release, detachment of the primitive world. Propeller, he said, as this one blasts outwards, as it tear right through Sasuke's chest. But Sasuke smiled as he vanished. Oniki tried to break whatever genjutsu was in, as he saw another Sasuke rushing towards him, as another was on the left, one from the front and one from behind. None of them seemed to be a shadow clone. As Oniki fired a beam of his Genten over and over, obliterating the copies of Sasuke, as he didn't want the boy to get near to him. However, the nightmare just gets intense as even more and more Sasuke start to get killed. Minutes passed, and despite him killing several of them, they kept on coming, as Oniki was panting harshly. Using that attack so much time, once you let the darkness in, it completely consumes you. That is what Oniki heard before the ground exploded, as Sasuke appeared in front of him and grabbed his throat. Oniki tried to bring his hands forward. If he was going down, then so was the boy. But Sasuke drive up his sword. Oniki screamed in pain as a shower of blood erupted from his arm, as his severed limb collapsed on the ground, leaving only a stump. As Sasuke smashed Oniki into the ground and broke his legs. Rebellion is not a sin. You fight what you believe in, Sasuke said. Say that when you die, said Oniki. When I die, I will meet my end with the same smile I have right now. I have no regrets. So what shall it be? I have been ordered to give a quick death, but I prefer the painful one much more. Screw you, Oniki said, as he tried to do a one-handed hand sign. But slash. Onki's head was sliced off clean. As Sasuke looked at his blood-stained uniform and sword. Damn it, it all got filthy, he thought. Time skip 2 days later. A satisfied smile was on Naruto's face as he looked at the paper. It was a surrender from the resistance. The fact that it was from Kurenai herself made him happy. She has finally seen the light. After displaying the battle of Oniki and Sasuke to the entire world, the next day he had received stop fire. And also now, he received this truce and surrender. Things have worked out exactly as he had thought. Kunai and the resistance were willing to end their long-standing conflict, providing that they are able to negotiate a truce and a few treaties. If successful, they will merge with the Empire. Words couldn't begin how he felt at this moment. Fighting with her was extremely painful for him. He will finally get to see her after 2 years, and maybe they could be friends again. The war was finally over. Later that day, have you lost your goddamn mind? As Haku stood there, as she watched Naruto and Sasuke curse at each other. Naruto was a symbol of peace, for the future of right, where the former ninjas and civilians could live in a place together as humans, while Sasuke wanted to disintegrate the violent shinobi system from the world and the history. There was not a shred of compassion in the boy's heart, but with good reasons, because it was a ninja world who took everything away from him. And this decision that Sasuke is watching Naruto make right now would jeopardize that dream of him annihilating the shinobi world completely, something which Sasuke will not take. As she watched as two of the most powerful warriors in the world glared at each other. "Stand down, Sasuke," Naruto warned. "This is madness! This is a goddamn trap, and you're too foolish to see it," Sasuke barked angrily, pure white rage burning in his dark eyes. It could also be a genuine offer for a surrender, but you wouldn't like that, would you? Because it's too convenient and it hinders your desire for revenge. "Tell me something. Are you prepared to kill Sakura as well?" Naruto asked. As Haku see from Sasuke's expression that hurt him badly. As Sasuke clenched his fist tightly as he tried to rein in his anger. Just as Naruto's weakness was rein, Sasuke had one too. "If you do this, you risk everything we have built," Sasuke said. "I have to, brother. I cannot allow thousands of ninjas to be executed while they are offering to surrender," Naruto said. "Ideals are peaceful, Naruto. History is violent. Have you forgotten what happened to your own ancestors? Your own great-grandfather, Izuna Uchiha, warned his elder brother Madara against signing the peace treaty with the Senjus. And now look what happened. Our clan is gone. The only one left are us. And here's a cruel history repeating itself. Instead of Madara this time, it's me. And instead of Izuna, it's you. Who is against this?" Naruto said. "Naruto, I have always loved you like my own brother. Perhaps even more than Itachi. I have always had your back no matter what," Sasuke said. "I know," Naruto said. "But I also swore an oath to protect this empire from all enemies." "What are you implying, Commander?" Naruto said. Sasuke closed his eyes. "If you do this, then I will not come with you. And if you try to take the Empress in your madness as well, I am afraid I'll have to relieve you from your command," threatened Sasuke. But he then saw the fury breaking in Naruto's eyes. "Are you threatening me? You must know that the right soldiers are only loyal to me," Naruto said. As he clenched his fist so tight it drew blood. "I know, but I'll kill you. It's better if you die by my hands than going out there and getting slaughtered like a dog." "Kunai, she's a ninja," Sasuke cut him off. "A Hokage. I should have killed that bitch in the invasion. I let my emotion for you get in my way of doing my job. Not ever again," Sasuke said. As Naruto stepped forward and so did Sasuke, who quickly came in the center and pushed the both of them apart. "There will be no civil war as long as I'm the Empress. Am I clear?" Haku asked. "Haku, the both of them said, trying to prove their point. "Enough," she said. "Both of you are right from your positions, so I offer a truce," Haku said. "We're listening. First of all, I agree that it's not good to have the Emperor and Empress in one place to be an easy target. Plus, I'm pregnant, and I will not risk my child's life under any circumstances," she thought. "This truce could be an offer for genuine peace or a trap. Whatever it is, we have to approach it, but I won't send my husband, the Emperor, without someone I trust to have his back. Sasuke, I want you to go with him. You're the only one I trust enough to watch his back. If Kunai or any of the resistance so much as raise a single finger to harm him, butcher all of them. And this is a direct order of the Empress of the Reich, commanded Haku, as Sasuke gave a smile and nodded. Yes, your highness, he said. As Haku turned towards him, as Naruto looked into her eyes, something has changed. As Sasuke and her relationship has changed as well. Since she was the one that calmed him down, Sasuke and her became more friends. But that wasn't all. He saw something in her eyes, that it was like she was screaming at him to come back alive. Something was there. He didn't understand though. You will have your chance for negotiation, but on my terms, Haku said. Any objections? No, have it your way, said Naruto. Haku smiled on hearing he accept that, as she pulled out a map from her pocket and placed it on the table. The Fuma Pass was one of the valleys that were in no one control, neither the Reich or the Resistance, a no-man land. That was the site chosen for the negotiations. Sasuke stationed 5 battalion combat soldiers on our border. As in the middle right there, any of the Resistance or the Reich soldiers could flee back to their own country, as they wasn't that far away from each other. Choose our best fighters and make sure they react ASAP if it calls for it, Haku said. I see no problem with that, said Sasuke. Who will be negotiation for the Resistance? Asked Haku. Kunai, Tamaria and Mei, the 3 Kages of the Resistance. They will each have 2 of their bodyguards there. And also having a medic there. They're cautious, said Naruto. Fine. Then Sasuke will be your bodyguard. Tsunade will be assisting you with negotiations. Kakashi and Lee will go as well, said Haku. Why Lee? He's already living a peaceful life. Besides, it will increase the number of people I'm supposed to bring along. If the Resistance have a problem with it, they can go and screw themselves. This is non-negotiable. They are the one that wanted peace. If they try to voice objection, I will send in 5 battalions of soldiers to slaughter every one of them. I am only agreeing to this because you wanted, nothing more. As for Lee, he's the best taijutsu fighter in the entire Reich. I'll be at peace if he's also watching your back. Besides, he owes you one. As she noticed a smile came on Naruto's face. That day with Lee. Flashback 3 years ago. It was 5 days after the invasion, as the dead bodies were sent back to wherever their family belonged. As the Resistance were pushed back out of Konoha. As the place had been starting to build up, the Reich was staying at Konoha. The people that were injured were placed in the hospital. Lee was currently one of them, as he could only watch as his entire home was destroyed right in front of his eyes. If only that match against Gaara hadn't happened. If only he did not use the gates, he wouldn't be this way right now. There is no use thinking about what ifs. They will hurt you, said a voice, as Lee was surprised to see the Sound Kage standing there. This was Naruto Uchiha, the man who killed Hiruzen and destroyed Konoha, along with several of Lee's comrades. Are you here to kill me? Lee asked calmly. He wished he can go down fighting, but his injuries prevent him from doing so. The door then opened as Tsunade came in, as Lee was confused. You want to become a ninja again, right Lee? What? I asked, do you want to become a ninja again? Please don't joke, Naruto-san. If you're here to kill me, don't make fun of my disability. As he saw a frown appear on Naruto's face. Is that what this is? A disability? I was told that the most stubborn ninja of Konoha was resting here. Not some fool who gave excuses. If that's the case, I guess I'll take back my offer, Naruto said, as he started to walk away. Wait, Lee said, as Naruto sighed, as he walked over and sat down. How can you heal me? Lee said. The doctor said, but Tsunade's scoff cut him off. They're not me, boy. The question is, do you want to be a ninja or not? Even if you can heal me, what do you gain from it? I will not side with you, my village, my people, my comrades, you, Lee said, a few tears in his eyes, as Naruto surprised him again by putting a hand on his shoulder. I am not asking you to join me. Heal yourself and fight me, Naruto said. Huh? Lee said, confused. You're a kind of ninja who understands another ninja through the language of fists. Yes, I want you on my side, but I won't force you. I challenge you to defeat me. If I win, then you will at least consider to join my side. If I lose, then you can have your revenge, Naruto said. As Tsunade could only stare at Naruto, as he was surely strange. Here he was offering help to a ninja who would kill him if gotten the chance. As Lee was also shocked at the offer. I don't fight for revenge, Naruto-san, Lee said. And that made Naruto smile. Then, you're a better person than me. And that increased me wanting to fight you. If you defeat me, I will grant you any wish, that is if you don't kill me in battle first, Naruto said, in a joking manner, making Lee smile for the first time. I don't want to kill you, Naruto-san, but if I defeat you, you will release me, and I will go back to my people. You have my word. But if I win, Naruto said, as Lee closed his eyes. He then snapped them back open. Then, I will join you if I lose. It will only prove that you're a better ninja, and prove that you're not as bad as people say you are. End of the flashback. The battle after Lee had fully healed up. The battle was epic, even forcing Naruto to use his Susanoo a bit, as Lee was going to push himself even to open the last gate, but that was going to kill him, so Naruto ended the battle and told him that he could go back to his people. As Lee cried that day, he could remember, as Haku and Tsunade had told him how peaceful people live inside of the right nation. As, after some talking, Lee's mind was changed. The boy was welcomed by people, and he was respected for his skill. Even though he didn't possess ninjutsu, the people here still find him a great warrior, and impressive indeed. As Lee started the academy for taijutsu users, calling it the martial arts art, as Lee was satisfied in being an instructor than being fighting on the front lines. Later that night, "It's gonna be okay," said Haku, as she sit in Naruto's lap. As he nuzzled into her chest, "I don't know what I'll do without you," he said. "Me either, I need you, Naruto." As she came forward and kissed him, as he kissed her back with so much passion. Meanwhile, Kurenai stared at herself in the mirror as she was dressed in her Hokage's robes. Tomorrow, everything will come to an end. All of the suffering, all of the pain that each ninja suffer, it will come to an end. Revenge of the ninjas. She knew what they were doing were treacherous at the most kinds. The worst. Assassination of a negotiation team was not popular in any ninja world. As her heart was so cramped right now, at any moment she felt like she was going to have a heart attack, as it was taking all of her strength to not cry about what she was going to do. The ambush has been set, and even for someone like Naruto, it would be impossible to escape. And the worst part is, she was the one who made this strategy, using the dirtiest trick in the book. In order to eliminate the devil that he has become, she had to make deals with many demons, people who she would have loved killing for the greater good if the circumstances were different. She would ask him to surrender though, lay down his arms for old time's sake. She owed him that much. But deep down she already knew what his answer would be. Tomorrow would be the day. And despite her best efforts, she could not tear him from her heart. It was like he had a hole in there. And it was because she loved him she had to do this. She had to save him. Naruto Uchiha had to die for the greater good. The next morning, "Everyone ready?" Naruto asks, as he received a nod from Lee and Kakashi and Tsunade. "I still think that this is a mistake. We can just cancel this and go for drinks. My treat," Sasuke offered. As Tsunade found Sasuke offering quite tempting, but Naruto cut her off. "Well, I will hold you to it, Sasuke, once we return after our successful trip." As Sasuke simply grunted, Haku then came out of the chambers. As she walked up to him and hugged him, as she planted a gentle kiss on his lips. As she looked at him in the eyes. Naruto, I want to..." "Tell me whatever you want when I return," Naruto said. "You promise that you will come back," she said. "Of course I will," he said, as she gave him another kiss. Time skip. Kurenai and the group, they arrived first. The rest of them went inside while she and Sakura stayed outside to meet the Reich army and the Emperor himself. Both Kunoichis seemed nervous as hell. Not only were their former flames was about to confront them, but they would have to go through the plan to fight them in about an hour or two. As they saw Naruto arrive, as Sakura saw Sasuke right beside him, as Sasuke's eyes was observing every corner like a hawk, while Naruto seemed rather relaxed, as there were several media persons there to cover the event, with others there as well to watch this event go on. As Naruto sent a friendly wave to his Empire citizens, as they cheered, something that Kurenai and Sakura noticed. As Naruto stopped, he whispered something to Sasuke and the others, who frowned at him. As Sasuke gave him a dead glare, they didn't look quite happy. But after a few seconds, Kakashi, Tsunade, and Lee departed to where the meeting was going to be held, while Naruto walked towards Kunai with Sasuke beside him. As Sasuke seemed uncomfortable when he saw Sakura standing beside Kunai, as Naruto walked up to them with a smile on his face, as Sakura felt really nervous as Sasuke looked at her. The former members of Team 7, they found it really odd to be near to each other right now, even though once they trust each other with your life. But guys, to be ending this episode right here. If you want to see the next part, if you already know what to do, like, subscribe, comment down below, and turn the bell notifications they posted. Remember to share to all of your friends on your social media platform. And also guys, stay in tune for the rest of what is coming your way, and I hope that you guys enjoy each and every one of them. And remember, if you're new, to go ahead and click that red subscribe button and become a part of the anime making family. And thank you for all of your help and your support. And yeah guys, without further ado, I'm off now. Peace.